is. All right, welcome, my brothers all over the world. This is family night, man. This is something I've been looking forward to catching up with you guys. I have, as you can imagine, the last 2 weeks being involved in really the middle of the Russian invasion of Ukraine, and the stories I'm going to share with you tonight, pictures I haven't had a chance to post anywhere else. And this is me 2 weeks of no shaving, I scruffy looking, and very little sleep. And now to boot, I'm sick on top of it, sinus infection. So I appreciate your patience and your love, but let me share with you. I don't even know where to begin. So I thought what I'd do is just go through some pictures in a PowerPoint. I'll just tell the stories that are there. Then afterwards, I'll go into some Q&A with you guys. But let me do that right now. I think I can't think of a better way to do this than just to dive in with the PowerPoint. So here we go. And all right, I just called this. Let me minimize all of this. And how do I get this to go to? Here we go. I need slideshow view and from the start. There we go. All right, and let's see. The other thing I want to do is I want to keep the chat up so I can keep chatting with you guys. So I'm going to move that over here. All right, very good. All right, so hopefully you guys can see that. Let me dive right in. Let me do one other thing. Hang on a second. Where's my participants? And have you guys be able to join the conversation when we're done here. Okay, so I just put this together literally about 45 minutes ago. I grabbed some shots that I haven't used, and I just want to tell you some stories. It's so much has happened. Like the world has changed 100 times in the last 2 weeks, and I just have my little lens on the world. And I'm not going to get philosophical. I'm just going to tell my stories. So it started with some of the eerie things at the beginning were these what they call the these what do they call them, bomb sirens or something, when they have these things go off when they anticipate incoming rockets and things like that. And it got to very quickly where we were hearing this 3 times a day, and it was mostly intense in the evenings. So when the air raid sirens, when the air raid sirens would go off, the word was get indoors, get out of sight. And so in this particular video clip I haven't shared it, so I just did a little screenshot, but one thing, it's eerie that the streets are clear. And because this is the downtown. This is the 3-lane, 4-lane, each direction, Linden Street through the middle of the street, and it was totally empty. Now I had to I don't even have other pictures of this, but I had to violate curfew a couple of times in order to make the deliveries to the kids. And I didn't care. For whatever reason, I was never really worried about my personal safety. I just figured the odds of getting hit by something are pretty freaking remote. And I had things to do, and these kids couldn't wait. So there were several times I was just driving during an air raid time and just listening to the siren out of my window. Now at night, it was even creepier. So I'll tell you this quick story. It was funny because several of the nights I would sleep in the office. And part of that is because I was doing interviews, late at night, so I had to stay there. And I had, been making a delivery or something, and so I just kind of camped in the office. It's got a bed, a little nice leather couch there, so I would sleep there and work there. Yes, Anna's in Las Vegas, and she was not here this whole time. But one night I went back to go get to the office, and the hotel had barricaded the doors. I literally couldn't get in. And so now here's the problem. At night, they want city blackout. So they literally want everybody to turn off every light. So it's like almost like a World War II thing. So if there's an air raid, they couldn't see the city. They made it really black. And so God bless the police, they would patrol the streets all night long to hopefully keep everybody in and the curfew, right? So I basically, by 8 minutes, I violated the curfew. And I'm a little freaked out because I don't know what's going to happen. Everybody's on heightened alert. We're a little freaked out. At this point, I think that they had just officially taken Kherson, and Nikolaev is next. So I'm trying to drive home. And sure enough, I get pulled over. Now, when I get pulled over, it isn't just being pulled over. There are like 4 guys in there with the cops are now armed with M16s and they're yelling. And so I'm like getting out and I'm freaked out because I'm trying to speak English. They're only speaking Russian. So I just said, you know what? I'm not going to escalate this. I just got on my face and laid my hands on the street. I just said, I started talking in, just tried talking in English. And so they started bringing other cars. So pretty soon there's like 8 of these guys with M16s around me. And I'm literally like 50 yards from my apartment. I'm just almost home. And I'm trying to tell them that. And so finally they got somebody who spoke English to come out there. And he's like, get up, get up. And so we talked and he's like, dude, you're fine. Just don't violate curfew again, you know, and so we'll watch you, make sure you get to your apartment. So, I mean, there's literally 50 yards. I was almost there, turned in, pulled in, but they're really cool. They're obviously the Ukrainians. They love us. They're on our side. So it wasn't anything except they're everybody's just on that state. All right, let me continue with the story here. Now, this is one I haven't had a chance to tell. The city, thanks, John, for asking. That city was Nikolaev, Ukraine. In fact, I think all these shots are right here. The this shot I wanted to share with you guys to let you know that, you know, when you're doing good in the world, you know, good things come to you, and I really believe that. So I haven't shared this little video yet, but what happened is we knew, if you guys hadn't heard, the gas is out. All gas stations are empty in Nikolaev, and there's still some gas in other cities, but Nikolaev was totally dry. And what we were trying to figure out is help, because we're trying to support not only the orphanage, but then there's a children's hospital, and it covers the whole state, the region, the oblast of Nikolaev, huge children's hospital. And they're getting down to where they're trying to get their ambulances filled. So we knew somebody who knew the owner of a chain of this whole chain of gas stations. So we got them to actually call their people at home, come into work, and open the gas station for us. And they had like emergency reserves. They let us drain the emergency reserves to fill all the ambulances. And these guys were also bringing their spare gas cans. So I felt like, wow, that was just one thing we could do. And of course we got extra for the orphanage as well. But you know, what little things you can do, you know, and it's like, there's nothing glamorous about all the stuff we did. You know, we had to go grocery shopping for the kids. So these lines, you can see how long they are. And unfortunately, you know, even to just, you know, a few days ago, the stores aren't completely empty. They're, you know, they have some things, but the lines are always long because everybody's panicked that they're going to get to the point where they can't buy anything. So it was really great for us. We would just massively stack up some carts with the things the orphanages asked for. And here's another grocery store. We had to go to several to get everything they wanted. And it was guys like this, who was the manager of the entire grocery store. When we told him, hey, we got an orphanage here, he said, look, when you're done, just come right to the front of the line. You can skip the line. We're going to get you out. And they made sure they got us in the one line that the debit cards were still working, because everybody's donations, we were able to just keep using on the debit card. So it was really cool. Oh, by the way, I got a little trivia. This is so funny. So you know how in America, do you guys remember, trivia question, right? When we had the pandemic hit, what was the first thing raided at the grocery stores? What was the thing they ran out of first? What was the toilet paper? That's right?
Toilet paper.
You know what it was in Ukraine?
Toilet paper.
Right. You know what it was in Ukraine? Toothbrushes. I don't know why, but it's like they were cleaning out toothbrushes. I think that says something about the difference in hygiene between our cultures, doesn't it? Oh, anyway, so it was really cool that these people were just so gracious and helpful to us. And so, you know, and then of course we do the work. You know, we go over and we show up at the orphanage, and we deliver. This was an interesting story, these potatoes. So while we were at the hospital trying to get them, oh, and I have other pictures from the hospital I didn't show you because we had medicines and things for them. But when we were at the hospital, some guys from the military were bringing their supplies too, and they had a cart in the back full of you know, potatoes. I guess you guys in the military know they do a lot of potatoes. And so we let them know we're with the orphanage, and they gave us 2 of these huge bags. And so I just thought that was cool, you know, that they even, the military, gave that to us to help the kids. I mean, it's like the acts of heroism are just everywhere here on the streets. So this is just one of the little grocery runs we did, and to one of the orphanages there. And then of course, while we're there making the delivery, the sirens go off and we watch the kids as they're racing them down the hallway to the bomb shelter below, and you guys have probably seen the video and the photos from that. This is the Children's Hospital, and this is the one, like I said, it covers the whole state. So this is where like they'll have a cancer ward and surgeries, and just it's massive. Here's the other building. So it's a campus of these massive buildings. So this is one where we help them get gas for their vehicles, because when gas runs out of the ambulances, you're really out. Somebody says you lost audio. Can you guys still hear me? Check. Yep. Okay.
Yeah,
good.
we can hear you.
Okay, great. Thanks, guys. Man, I love you guys for chiming in on this. This is great. So then, like I said, I'd be down in the office. You can see me on the right, and the background obviously from the office. That's where I was kind of sleeping most of the nights, because I'd stay up and do these interviews. And again, I gave credit on my Facebook page, and I probably didn't give credit enough to a guy named Adam Lyons, who just basically donated me his PR agent, pays a lot of money to, and she got us on these shows. So it was really cool to share the story. But this particular picture down here in the orphanage, they got the entire orphanage down this place, and they'd be down there for 2 and 3 hours at a time. And these kids are just, this is probably more traumatic than anything, is them having to go down here and be disrupted from their life. Anyway, I never did get rescheduled for Hannity, no, but I did get on the BBC today, on the World News, the global one. So what was really cute is we were able to get in like money also to all the employees are fine. Thanks for asking. I check in on everybody. So we were able to get some money directly to some of the orphanages, because one of the great things is not only my debit card work, but I was able to wire transfer to some of the other places and take care of them. And so they would have the kids write us little thank you signs and things like this for us taking care of them. And we currently are networked to about 10 orphanages, and we probably are going to get to about 20 that we're going to be in communication with and taking care of them. And so we're connected in Lviv, Kharkov, Dnipro, Odessa, Cherkasy. Thank you to Timo. And then of course the sad news for us is that the orphanage you guys have all helped with in Kherson with the heating and the electric and all that kind of stuff is now in Russian territory. Now the good news is it was just yesterday morning that we heard from the doctor who runs it, and from Kherson, and she says all the kids are fine. They're still basically living in the large basement bomb shelter into the church there, because they didn't have one in the building themselves, but she says they're okay for now and they have food. So that was really good to hear. All right, let's see. Let me go back to you guys in chat. They're really great. It's their heart. It's like even under wartime, they want to say thank you. And they wanted to let us know that. And they try to keep the kids' lives as normal as possible. So I thought it was adorable. All right, so stop sharing that. Come back to me. Just some photos I had there. I hadn't had a chance to share yet. So I want to just let you guys know that I did. I am mobile right now, and I'm moving with some people, and next week I'll be able to. I should be safely out, and I'll share you the story about getting the border and all the rest of the stuff that I can as I share that. Right now, my location has to be a little incognito until I'm out to safety, along with other people traveling who are going, don't let people know where we are. They're a little freaked out until they get to safety. So just understand that. But we're not in an active combat zone, so you guys don't have to worry. And I believe we'll probably be, to the other side here shortly. So anyway, and no, I've had people tell me, Mark, what are you doing? You're wasting food and energy and oxygen if you're not picking up a gun and going and fighting. There's a calling for everybody, and my calling is to make sure these orphanages get food and medicine that they're taken care of. It's not my calling to go pick up a gun. If I go pick up a gun and stop doing what the other things I'm doing a disservice. So everybody's got their thing. And I want to tell you this too. It's just this is a side thing, because here's one of the things I've, for whatever reason, and again, I'm not I'll tell this out loud because I don't mean this to be bragging, and I don't mean it that way at all. But for some reason, I haven't been like stressed during this whole time. I've been actually at a place of peace and focus. And part of it is I think that I feel accountable. I wrote the book called How to Lead in Crisis. I feel like I've got to actually do it. I feel like I'm always one of those believers, focus on the thing you can control. And there's so many things here I just can't control. And so having to release that is a really difficult daily discipline in these environments. Not being overwhelmed with sadness. I remember it's coming to my mind actually with some war movies where they would be at battle and their buddy just got killed, and the leader in the group would say, hey, there will be a time for us to mourn his loss. Right now we have to engage and focus. And that's kind of where I'm at. I think there's going to be a time when I get clear that I'm probably going to have a great sadness come over me, and I'm probably going to cry and weep for the loss of everything there. But I don't have the luxury of that yet. And so I give myself permission to delay my mourning. And it may be later I freak out and realize how scary it was, and how close I was to problems and getting in trouble. But I'm just focused right now. And so every day, we're making calls. Every day we're trying to connect people and build networks. And a little bit of lack of sleep and everything else is catching up to me. We had one of the guys get COVID in Lviv, who was part of the team there making deliveries. So, we understand that there's challenges everywhere to getting this done. And so I really appreciate your guys' patience that I've been sort of out of communication and out of the loop. And we're going to get back to things we can do together. And so starting next week, I'll be back with our Armory live call, and we're going to continue with our focus and our series and doing things we're called to do. And in addition to now, my career focus for the short term, certainly since Dream Connections is Ukraine division is on hold for a while, is going to be assuring and helping these kids. So I'll be posting regularly what we're doing and all the rest of that kind of stuff. I'm exhausted, a little sick, but I want to love you guys and thank you so much for your care and support. For the 350 emails I have not replied to yet, I apologize. I'm going to start getting through them. And I'm sure in the middle of those are some critical things that I missed. And I knew that was going to be part of it. And so with that, I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to just have a chance to connect with you guys and catch up. And I missed you. But I'm honestly, considering the hell that's going on in the injustice and the evil, I'm proud of what we're doing, and I'm proud of how everybody's come together. I'm proud of these Ukrainian people. Pardon me. I'm proud of these Ukrainian people for how they chip in and they help each other out. And this true in crisis, who you are rises to the top, right? So some of the best these people come out, and the truth is some of the worst of other people come out. And so there are things that are dangerous around guys who aren't good people at their core. And so people are being extra careful about trying to protect their cars from getting stolen or places being broken in. I know we saw videos of people looting. I haven't seen that in Nikolaev, but I understand other parts of the country that's happening. Anyway, so that is my report for now. And thank you. Everybody keeps asking, I'll answer it again. Everyone whose friends, family, staff is safe and okay in Nikolaev. They're financially cared for. Some of them got out. But thank you for asking again. Family is safe. I don't personally know anyone injured, and all of the orphans in all the orphanages have that I'm aware of have not been injured. And with the exception of one errant missile that hit in a yard of an orphanage near Kyiv, the buildings have been safe where they're at. So what I will do tonight as well is I'm going to ask for a couple of contributions, and one of them is for if you guys do want to give to Abundance International, we are able to use that right here, and we are. That's really amazing. So we just sent 5,000 yesterday to an orphanage, and they got it. We're getting 24-hour wire transfer turnarounds, and then of course we can use a debit card in here at the store. You get those huge orders, and you just put it right on the card, so we can spend the donation money immediately. So let's see. I know I've got good people on here. If you guys can help me out, Dan, maybe you or somebody else can go to the Dream Connection store, go to the post tour. I think it's on there, and the tip jar, the translator tip jar. If you can copy the link for that and paste it here, I'll pin it if I can to the top. And what we want to do is also take a collection for you guys. If you guys want to help them out, because obviously tours going to be down, they're going to be needing, and so we want to help with the romance coaches and be able to give them something. So whatever you guys give, we're going to divide among, the core full-time people who've been working for us, and those donations are just going to go right to them. We're just going to divide it among them. Is there anything you still buy in Ukraine? Yeah, I mean, most of you buy a lot of things still. So I'm not sure what you mean by that. As far as Dream Connections goes, the only thing I can think of right now is the Russian lessons, and I think we still arrange that with a romance coach. And going to, there you go, Jim. Thank you for that. Let me see. Is it possible to pin that to the top? Let me see if I have that option. No, it isn't. All right, I'm just going to copy it because we'll have to redo it a few times. So Jim actually just posted the link to the translator tip. If you guys don't mind going there and just leaving a little something for the romance coaches, we're going to share it with them since everybody's income is going to be hit. I'm not taking a salary anymore, and we'll just pray that this passes and we'll be able to continue tours one way or another, wherever it goes. So, and the other thing, of course, is, let's see, have you guys, if you haven't been there yet, Michael Alordi, who's been with me for 12 years and done all of my web work and graphic design work. Email.org. There we go. Built our site, and it's been really fantastic. And there's several ways to give there with PayPal, with the GoFundMe campaign, and also Bitcoin. We actually can tag. There's something called BitDonate, so if somebody has cyber currencies. All right. With that, I'll open it up to questions. And thanks so much for your guys' love and support, man. And it's nice to see a full house here tonight. This is great. This is really encouraging to me.